Whereas intimate partner violence affects every American. It harms our communities, weakens the foundation of our nation, and it hurts those we love most. And whereas intimate partner violence can result in physical injury, psychological trauma, and even death. The devastating consequences of intimate partner violence can cross generations and can last a lifetime. And whereas children from homes experiencing intimate partner violence are physically abused or seriously neglected at a rate significantly higher than the national average and have greater risks of alcohol and drug abuse, becoming youthful offenders, and developing cognitive and developmental difficulties. And whereas victims of intimate partner violence that involves a history of strangulation are 7 times more likely to be killed by their abuser. And whereas an average of 24 people per minute are victims of rape, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in the United States, more than 12 million women and men over a course of a single year. And whereas Lumen Alliance, our local emergency shelter, provided a variety of prevention and direct services to victims of intimate partner violence last year, including assisting 175 clients, providing 6,586 nights of shelter, and responding to 2,398 crisis calls. And whereas the County of San Luis Obispo District Attorney's Office reviewed, charged, and prosecuted 288 felony and 764 misdemeanor intimate partner violence cases in 2023, and the Christopher G. Money Victim Witness Assistance Center assisted more than 1,000 victims of intimate partner violence. And whereas Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Month provides an important opportunity to learn more about intimate partner violence and to demonstrate support for the numerous organizations and individuals who provide advocacy, services, prevention, education, and assistance to victims. And whereas we recognize that the survivors and victims of intimate partner violence embody incredible strength and resilience, overcome trauma and abuse, and build lives free of violence. And now, therefore, be it resolved and ordered that the Board of Supervisors of the County of San Luis Obispo, State of California, does hereby designate October 2024 as San Luis Obispo County Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Month and urges all citizens to observe this month by learning how to detect and prevent intimate partner violence and to increase awareness of the tragic impacts of intimate partner violence by supporting those who are working towards its end and by participating in community awareness efforts. Thank you.
Madam Chair and Honorable Board, I just want to thank you. I'm Dan Dowd, District Attorney, and I want to thank you for once again highlighting the importance of making our community aware of the very sad situation that we have across this country, and that is intimate partner violence. In our county, as wonderful as it is, we're no exception. The numbers this year, I hope don't continue on the trend that they're on, but if prior performance is a predictor of future results, this year we're on track to be the highest by several percentage points in domestic violence or intimate partner violence cases over the last 10 years. And so I'm hopeful that we can stop that. However, each year during the holiday season, there tends to be an uptick, so it may even be a larger watershed year. I hope not, and I hope that the efforts that you're doing today to bring awareness will help provide people to our partners to reach out and get support and hopefully extract themselves from dangerous and violent relationships and situations that could get out of hand. And while we are a great team in this community, I want to pay special attention and recognition to our partners that are maybe not going to be speaking this morning, but the Sheriff's Office, our law enforcement partners who are first responders, the probation department that works very hard to ensure that the offenders are going through the required batterers treatment, batterers intervention training curriculum and making sure that they're hopefully not violating while they're on probation. Partners from the health agency, that includes drug and alcohol services, and the whole panoply, as well as child welfare services that are helping us in this space. But our principal partner locally for providing shelter services is Lumen Alliance, and we're very proud of our enduring partnership with them as they've become known as Lumen Alliance, formerly the Women's Shelter, and Rise and Stand Strong. And Jenny Adams in a moment will speak to what they're doing specifically. And before we go to Jenny Adams, I'd like to ask our Victim Witness Director, Jesse Yates, to comment briefly on the good work that our 16 victim advocates are doing in this space.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I would like to first start out by having our two victim advocates that take the caseload of domestic violence and sexual assault stand up, because I definitely want to recognize Tristan and Miss Gabby. And Maya, I think she might have ran out, our attorney. I can say this is one of the hardest caseloads to cover, so thank you guys. I'm glad to be your boss, and I'm sorry that you have that caseload, but someone has to do it. So again, thank you for having us today and allowing us to bring light to where darkness has prevailed. Today, we are here to declare October as Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Month. While we all know, each time I come before you, it is usually to bring attention to societal issues that no one wants to talk about, that no one wants to admit being a victim of, and that are historically a faux pas to discuss in front of others. Our culture has taught victims of these shameful crimes to feel that they are to blame, that whatever happened to them, or is currently still happening to them, is their own fault. And our culture has created an environment where these victims are not sure who they can turn to that is trustworthy, that will listen, or that will actually be able to help them to get away from the abuse that they endure. Intimate partner violence is not a local problem, but as the World Health Organization says, a global public health pandemic. We need to discuss it to work towards chipping away at stopping it and allowing room for those affected by it to come forward, to get help, to feel safe, and to heal. I stand in front of you not only as a director of victim witness, but as a survivor of intimate partner violence. As a community member that knows firsthand how difficult it is to not only come to the terms of how easy it is to become prey to those who inflict fear and violence onto others, I also know that getting over the shame that you shouldn't feel, accepting that it is not your fault and that you didn't bring it upon yourself, and gaining the courage to believe in your own strength that you can get free from the abuse. I say to you today, take the first step, reach out for help, and don't feel embarrassed. I find myself blessed to be alive today to speak to you. There are times that I didn't know if this would be the case. And let the community know that there is hope, just as the last speaker said. There is help, and we at the District Attorney's Victim Witness Assistance Center will stand by you and support you, not only through the judicial process, but with your wishes, health, and safety at the forefront of our thoughts and actions. We assisted over 1,100 victims of intimate partner violence just last year. And we didn't see that as just a number or statistic. We see that as 1,100 reasons to keep showing up to work, to keep reaching out, to trying to get help to these people and get them connected to assistance, and 1,100 reasons to keep building community relationships and connections with our nonprofit organizations, our law enforcement agencies, and county partners to support these brave individuals who stand up and ask for help, for justice, for safety, and to be heard. We will continue to work on educating the community to let them know that we are not here to pass judgment, to re-traumatize anyone, or to ignore them. We are here to meet you where you are at, to counsel you towards getting safe, and to work towards taking away the stigmatism of being a victim. People get angry when they hear the word victim because they don't understand that in order to be a survivor, you first had to be a victim. We are here to take you from victim to survivor. We are also here to recognize the fact that I always point out that not all victims are survivors. As it was pointed out earlier, 1 in 7 women are usually not alive anymore after they are strangled by their intimate partner. That could go for men as well. You just watched a presentation about National Suicide Prevention Month. I promise you that some victims of intimate partner violence unfortunately get out of the situation by choosing not to be here anymore. So thank you for them for doing their work as well. They just want it to stop. We want to get to that person before their pain takes them first. We want to let these individuals know that they can get out, they can get away, and they can get help. They will be supported, and we want to be there supporting them through the process, because we know it is a very difficult process. Whether it is us at the District Attorney's Victim Witness Assistance Center assisting with the prosecution of the crime, or together with local nonprofits like Lumina Alliance, who's here today, who you hear from next, we want to help victims become survivors, and we want to let abusers know that there are consequences for their actions. In closing, I would like to address those affected by this pandemic. If you are a victim of intimate partner violence, please don't be afraid to reach out to your local law enforcement office, walk in and tell them you want to make a report, or call the local crisis hotline at 805-545-8888, or the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Or even better yet, tell a trusted loved one or friend that you need their support in making these first few steps. Please believe me when I say those first few steps are the absolute hardest ones that you will ever make. But once you lift your head from the shame you feel, once you stand up for yourself, and once you realize that you are worthy, you will quickly start running in a new direction. And I promise you will never look back. My daughter has straight A's, and she's doing great. You will still have the physical scars, you will still remember the pain of the words, but you will feel yourself again. And I am confident that you will never regret getting yourself back. Thank you.
And I want to introduce my good friend, Jenny Adams.
Oh my goodness, Jessica. I have my speech written out, but I just really want to recognize the bravery and courage that it takes to stand up here and publicly talk about your own survivorship. Thank you for that, and you're amazing, and we're lucky to have you. Thank you so much to the Board of Supervisors, District Attorney Dow, Jessica Yates, Victim Witness. I get to see my old friends at Victim Witness because I used to do the domestic violence and sexual assault caseload many moons ago. So Lumina Alliance, previously Rise and Stand Strong, our mission is to empower those impacted by sexual and intimate partner violence through advocacy, healing, and prevention. Our agency, though we've changed our name, I want to say it's like 12 times. I know. I promise you no more. We have been supporting survivors for over 40 years, and we continue to serve as a bright light during dark times to those in need. We offer a 24-hour crisis and information line, self-sufficiency services, legal referrals, accompaniment and advocacy, emergency shelters, transitional housing, individual and group therapy, and a robust prevention program. As previously mentioned, October is Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Month, which was launched in 1987 as a way to unite organizations and people working to end domestic and intimate partner violence across the country. Over 30 years later, this month continues to be a time for collaboration, advocacy, and connection with the goal of raising awareness about the impacts of intimate partner violence both locally and nationwide. This year in particular, we look to shine a light on the hidden costs of intimate partner violence in our community, as well as those groups whose survivorship or victimhood often goes unacknowledged. While we recognize that intimate partner violence can be experienced by anyone, certain groups, such as undocumented individuals, transgender individuals, and those living with disabilities, are uniquely vulnerable. Despite this, these groups are often the least likely to have access to the services they need to heal and thrive, and the violence they experience is often in the shadows. This October, we're committed to illuminating the path towards a brighter future for all survivors. And it was so timely, the week that you all are declaring against hate. Well, it was lovely to hear that today as well. In honor of Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Month, Lumina Alliance has several planned events throughout the month, including Fashions for a Purpose that's happening at the Dana Adobe Cultural Center in Napomo, Saturday, October 5th at 10 a.m. We are also partnering with the Palm Theater for a screening of Practical Magic. If you're an 80s kid, you'll remember that movie, on Friday, October 25th at 7 p.m. Please visit luminaalliance.org to purchase tickets, learn more about these events, and how you can get more involved. Please remember, and Jessica did it for me, but I'm going to do it again. If you or anyone you know is experiencing sexual or intimate partner violence, please call 805-545-8888 to speak to any one of our confidential advocates. In closing, we're so grateful for this proclamation and the board's ongoing support, our partnership with the District Attorney's Office and Victim Witness, and for taking time and working together to create a safe, thriving, and equitable community. Thank you.
And finally, you might notice I'm wearing a purple tie. I would encourage all of you to wear purple during the month of October. That's the color for Intimate Partner Violence or Domestic Violence Awareness Month across the nation. So join those that are in this space to bring awareness by wearing purple next month during the month of October. And could we just have everybody, whether, if you didn't come up before, but everybody stand that is a partner agency, either law enforcement or health agency or social service that supports survivors of domestic violence? Thank you.
Thank you to all of you for being here and bringing forward this discussion once again. I want to bring it back to the board and see if we have any comments. Supervisor Gibson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've said many times this is a presentation I wish we didn't have to have. And as I have participated in it over many years, I continue to be struck by the persistence of those who work so hard to defeat this scourge. And I thank all of you, those who have worked a long time, those who are new to this, and wish you your own health in sustaining what I can only imagine is a really tough job. Thank you.
Supervisor Ortiz-Lake.
Yeah, it's really great to see you all here because I know how hard you work at this, and we're happy to have this time to recognize the importance of the support that you're giving our community members. Sorry, this kind of just, in the last year, a girl I worked with from Topaz Solar Farm, she worked for Right On, and Kelly Black, and she lost her life to intimate partner violence in Kentucky. And it all just kind of came out this morning now for me. But, I just encourage people that if you have any things going on at home, this is what can happen. And so thank you for being there for everybody. Excuse me.
Supervisor Pashon.
I just want to thank you. This is a tough job, and you do it with grace and honesty, and I appreciate it, and I know the county appreciates all you do.
Supervisor Paulding.
Yeah, and echoing that, having this awareness is so critical, and getting the information about the hotline and the services available. So thanks for making it a priority to bring that to our meeting and to share that with the public.
And I want to thank you for being here again this year as well. And cumulatively, all the years of service and expertise and dedication of this group has just been amazing. The numbers are staggering, really, when you bring them every year. And anyway, we really appreciate the work you do and how you do it. So thanks for being here this morning. Yeah.